So we had I think, final game of the big Indiana Kentucky High School All-Star series that was ongoing last week. It's a really fun event. I wish more states would do this, but I guess you got to be really good at basketball to facilitate something like this. And luckily for college hoops fans and just prep basketball fans, both the state of Kentucky and state of Indiana are constantly pumping impressive talent out. So it allows them to have a week full of all-star games with high school basketball players. And Malachi Moreno was named the MVP of the Kentucky Indiana All Star game, which was extremely notable because Indiana beat Kentucky in this game. Brilen Mullins and the rest of the Indiana High School All Stars were spectacular. Malachi Moreno was the best player on the floor, though. He had 22 points and 14 rebounds in I guess, the premier game of this All Star week. He was the head turner. Anybody in attendance said that he was sort of the story. He was the most impressive player, the big man that is headed to Kentucky. Kind of showed off for really the first time I can remember in a while. He's been to a lot of these big events, but you tell me if you can remember something I'm forgetting. There haven't been many moments where it's been like, wow, Malachi Moreno was the best player on the floor. Kind of a good reminder that this is arguably the best center prospect in this class, and that on a night where he was alongside Brilen Mullins and some of the other best players in the country, Malachi Moreno was the biggest, baddest dude on the floor. MVP in a loss, though. I don't know how to feel about that. Did you see any highlights from Malachi Moreno's game, and what'd you think?
Yeah, look, I mean, it was very all-star gamey, I must say. To me, it was at least. Now, I think there was a lot of good performances in it. And Malachi Moreno, I guess we don't really talk about him as much. I feel like even when we bring up Kentucky, it's always like, acquaintance, and it's what is Brandon Garrison going to be returning and other pieces on that team. But Malachi Moreno is a kid who has a lot of talent, I think. And I think there are some steps he can take to be better. But, I look at what he did at that Chris Brickley Invitational thing. I thought he had some really good moments there, showing some things. And that he does this in this All-Star game. I think Malachi Moreno, I think, me speaking for me personally, I think I need to talk about him a little bit more when talking about Kentucky basketball for next season.
Yeah, I feel like with Quaintance in the fold, he's kind of just been completely forgotten about, right? Like,
Right.
is there a top 30 recruit in the sport that we're talking about less than Malachi Moreno?
Uh, Probably a couple, to be honest with you.
Really?
Maybe. Trying to think which service are we looking at?
I mean, I know we're trying to like salvage it, I think, here, because when you go for 22 and 14 and get named MVP of an event that we were covering, then you're going to get our attention a little more. But like, I think most Kentucky depth charts have listed this kid behind Brandon Garrison for next year. Like, he's expected to be the third center at Kentucky. I don't know how many third centers are going out and doing this in this game and being named the MVP, truly.
Yeah, no, I think so. And look, we talked about how, we talked about other players in this game having really good performances, right? And I do think that Malachi Moreno, obviously the size, because he's a true 7-footer, right?
Yeah. This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video.
True 7-footer. That doesn't necessarily happen all the time, and a 7-footer who I think is coordinated as well. Um, yeah, I guess I would just, and maybe we're on the outside on this one, we don't see it as much, but I think there should be more excitement around Malachi Moreno than there is.
Yeah. Yeah, the final score of this game was 98-89. Indiana won. Indiana like pretty clearly had the better roster though, so it made sense, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know. One of the things I liked about this from Malachi was just like look, I guess I don't know how it officially works, but I like that Malachi showed up to this game and like cared about it. You know what I mean? Because I might be overstepping here. You tell me if I'm missing something on this. Couldn't Jasper Johnson have been playing at this event?
I don't think so, no.
Why?
Because I don't think he played in the state.
Oh, so it's got to be, it's literally where your prep season was.
Yeah, I think so. And they were there though, for what it's worth. Do you see that?
Yeah, they were there watching. Wait, where did Jasper play prep though?
For he was an OTE.
Oh, he left. So like the Tay Kinneys of the world wouldn't be eligible for this either.
I don't believe so, no.
God, that feels like a miss that we're not letting the OTE guys play in this event. But I don't know.
I think it'd be better basketball if they did.
Yeah, you look through the Kentucky roster, it was really lacking outside of Malachi. But I don't know. I guess my point is, I like that Malachi showed up on some like I'm here to actually dominate event shit. You know?
Yeah. I'm trying to get more info on who because there's a kid who he got a lot of buckets on in this video, and I'm wondering like who he is.
I mean, yeah, I will say, just going through the Indiana roster, not a lot of bigs. They didn't even have a center listed on the team. It was really like Trey Singleton was the low post guy.
Right.
Like Brady Kohler didn't play. That probably would have been the best big on the roster. So yeah, maybe it should have been expected for Malachi to do exactly what he did. But I don't know. He hit a three too. 7 for 8 from the free throw line. I was impressed with the box numbers and the highlights that I saw.
Yeah, 4 blocks with the two.
Yeah, big time. Can I ask one skeptical question real quick?
Yeah.
Not about Malachi. I have nothing to criticize from him at all. How many different games did Brilen Mullins participate in this week?
How many different games did he participate in?
Yeah, I mean, he played in the senior Kentucky Indiana game, which they won, but Malachi was the MVP. He played in the Indiana seniors versus the Indiana juniors game, which they lost and got punked by Luke Ertl. Has there been a moment this week where Brilen Mullins, the most prestigious player in all of these games, has ever been the best player on the floor?
Yeah, 24 and 6 and 1.
And Malachi Moreno got MVP in a loss.
Was the game in Kentucky?
It was at Lexington Catholic High School.
Well, there you go.
So basically, the kid that spurned Kentucky wasn't going to get MVP of this event.
No, absolutely not.
But so you don't care
Not
that
on, not on Mark Pope's watch.
you don't care that Ertl flat out destroyed Mullins.
No,
Why?
because Braylon Mullins is better than Luke Ertl.
Right, he didn't show that this week. That's my issue.
That's not too concerned about what happened in the Kentucky Indiana All or the
Okay.
Indiana All Star game.
All right. Okay.
Go find me somebody who would take Luke Ertl over Braylon Mullins. That's including people and on that occupy where Purdue's at.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would
We
do
can
that
get
yet.
cute about this because I love Luke Ertl, but let's not.
All I'm saying is I would have loved for Braylon Mullins to have been the guy in one of these games this week that was like, I'm gonna go get 40, I'm me. And instead, Ertl did that both times he stepped on the floor at Braylon's expense. And then I guess, I mean, look, leading scorer got the win. Fine. But I do feel like the story coming out of this game was Malachi Moreno and not Braylon Mullins. And I expected Brilen Mullins to be the story of this entire week. He was never the story this week.